Hello and welcome to Maths Battle. I'm your host, Bobby Seagull. On my right is our reigning champion, Susan.
Hi!
And hoping to steal her crown today is our new player, Will.
Hello.
Now, on to our first question. Solve this equation. 3 plus 4 times 5. Will, what's your answer?
I'm feeling good about this, Bobby. The answer is 35.
I'm sorry, Will, that's incorrect.
What?
Susan?
Is the answer 23?
Correct. Well done, Susan.
Whoa. Hang on a minute. 3 plus 4 is equal to 7, and 7 multiplied by 5 is equal to 35. I don't know where Susan got 23 from.
You're doing it in the wrong order, Will. 4 multiplied by 5 is equal to 20, and 3 plus 20 is equal to 23. You do the multiplication first, and then you do the addition. The way you did it, Will, would be like putting your underpants on after you've put on your trousers.
Look, I've told you already. I was in a rush this morning.
Here are some calculations that use basic operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. When we come across equations like these, it's really important to know exactly how to interpret them.
If we do the calculations in the wrong order, we might end up getting the wrong answer. Imagine how useless your calculator would be if it didn't always give you the correct result.
It's a bit like reading a sentence in English.
I saw the monkey with my binoculars.
The English language has a set of rules, or a grammar, that help us understand what sentences like this mean, but it's not always crystal clear.
There's 2 different ways we can read this sentence. Did you see the monkey through your binoculars? Or did you see the monkey stealing your binoculars? This sentence could mean 2 different things.
But in maths, basic calculations like these can't have 2 different answers. So the rules, or grammar, on how to interpret them have to be much stricter.
Okay, so when we solve equations like these, we always need to solve them in a certain order.
That's it.
This special order is known as the order of operations, and it has 4 steps.
First, we calculate anything that sits inside brackets.
Next, we calculate the orders. That's things like powers and roots.
Then we do any division and multiplication going from left to right.
And finally, we do any addition and subtraction going from left to right.
Okay, so the order is brackets, orders, division and multiplication, and addition and subtraction.
Bang on! To remember the order of operations, you just have to remember this word.
BODMAS.
B for brackets, O for orders, DM for division and multiplication, and AS for addition and subtraction.
BODMAS is used in maths calculations for so many different things, from supermarket checkouts that need to know how much your shopping costs, to drinks machines in restaurants that need to know when a glass is full, and even transport navigation to make sure you end up at the right destination.
If there wasn't a strict order of operations like BODMAS, you'd get charged the wrong amount at the supermarket, your drink would overflow at a restaurant, and you'd end up being directed to the middle of nowhere.
Oh wow, BODMAS really is important then.
Here's a simple equation like the one we saw earlier.
4 plus brackets, 7 multiplied by 2.
Let's use BODMAS to make sure we get the correct answer.
Okay, great. I think I'm going to let our reigning champion take this one though.
The first step of BODMAS is B, brackets. I'll start by doing 7 multiplied by 2, which is equal to 14. Next, O, orders, but I can't see any here. So let's do DM, division and multiplication. Nope, none of these either. Finally, we'll do AS, addition and subtraction. So I'll do 4 plus 14, which is equal to 18.
Nicely done, Susan.
Ah, I think I've got it now. Can I do the next one?
Go for it, Will. 10 minus 6 divided by 3.
Okay, so the first step is B, brackets. But there aren't any brackets here. So let's move on to O, orders. None of those either. Let's do DM, division and multiplication. So I'll do 6 divided by 3, which is equal to 2. Finally, we'll do AS, addition and subtraction. So I'll do 10 minus 2, which is equal to 8.
Spot on, Will.
You'll be stealing my crown in no time.
Welcome back to Maths Battle. I'm going to show you some equations and I want you to use BODMAS to figure out the correct answer. Here's the first one, 12 divided by 2 squared. If you want, you can pause the video and do it all by yourself, or keep watching to hear Susan and Will's answers. Will, what have you got?
Okay, there aren't any brackets, so I'll move on to O, orders. 2 squared, or 2 times 2, is equal to 4. Now I'll do DM, division and multiplication. 12 divided by 4 is equal to 3. There's no addition or subtraction left, so I'm done. The answer is 3.
Nice work, Will. Here's the next one. 10 times brackets 6 minus 4. Susan, what's your answer?
So let's start with B, brackets. I'll do 6 minus 4, which is equal to 2. There are no orders, so I'll move to DM, division and multiplication. 10 multiplied by 2 is equal to 20. I don't need to do any addition or subtraction, so I'm done. The answer is 20.
Perfect, Susan. Here's the last one. 14 divided by brackets 2 plus 5 minus 1. Will, what do you think?
Okay, so I'll start with the brackets. 2 plus 5 is equal to 7. I can't see any orders, so I'll move on to division and multiplication. 14 divided by 7 is equal to 2. Finally, let's do addition and subtraction. I'll do 2 minus 1, which is equal to 1.
Amazing! At the end of that round, Susan is on 10 points and Will is on 10 points. It's neck and neck. Is Will going to knock Susan off the top spot? Keep watching to find out.
Okay, so I'm going to quickly remind myself. When we solve equations in maths, we need to use the order of operations, or BODMAS. First, we calculate anything that sits inside brackets. Next, we calculate the orders, that's things like powers and roots. Then we do any division and multiplication. And finally, we do any addition and subtraction.
One of the most important things to remember about BODMAS is the way that we do both DM, division and multiplication, and AS, addition and subtraction.
Will, what's 22 minus 8 plus 4?
Okay, this looks simple enough. There's no brackets, no orders, no division or multiplication, so I just need to use AS, addition and subtraction. Let's start with addition. I'll do 8 plus 4 to get 12. Now for subtraction. I'll do 22 minus 12 to get 10.
Will, I'm afraid the answer isn't 10.
Hang on though, I used the AS from BODMAS. I did A, addition, and then S, subtraction.
Yeah, but it's really important to remember that DM and AS are both done from left to right. That's why in BODMAS, division and multiplication are paired up into DM and addition and subtraction are paired up into AS.
Right, I see now. Let me start again. This time I'll start on the left and do 22 minus 8 to get 14, and then 14 plus 4 to get 18.
That's the one.
Okay, I get it. So we do B, brackets, then O, orders, then DM, division and multiplication from left to right, and finish with AS, addition and subtraction from left to right.
You've got it!
So far, we've seen how the order of operations can be used to solve fairly simple equations like these. Let's take it a step further and use BODMAS to solve more complicated equations like this. 6 times 4 plus, brackets, 8 divided by 2 minus 5 squared.
Whoa, that is more complicated.
This equation may look scary, but like before, BODMAS will help us go step by step to find the right answer.
This feels like a challenge for the reigning champion.
First up is B, brackets. I'll start by doing 8 divided by 2, which is equal to 4. Next is O, orders. 5 squared, or 5 times 5, is 25. Now, let's do DM, division and multiplication. 6 multiplied by 4 is equal to 24. Finally, we'll do AS, addition and subtraction, which we do from left to right. So I'll do 24 plus 4 to get 28, then 28 minus 25 to get 3.
Great work, Susan.
Wow, BODMAS made that equation so easy to solve. I reckon I could do one now.
Alright, Will, let's see. Square root of 9 times, brackets, 15 minus 7, divided by, brackets, 6 minus 2, plus 11.
Okay, so I'll start with the first set of brackets. 15 minus 7 is equal to 8. Now the next set of brackets. 6 minus 2 is equal to 4. Next is O, orders. The square root of 9 is equal to 3. Now let's do DM, division and multiplication, which we do from left to right. 3 multiplied by 8 is equal to 24, and 24 divided by 4 is equal to 6. Finally, we'll do AS, addition and subtraction. I'll do 6 plus 11, which is equal to 17.
Excellent, Will. You made light work of that.
Ah, nice. I'm starting to get the hang of this.
Once we know the order of operations, we can use them to solve scary looking equations like these one step at a time to find the correct answer.
Welcome back to Maths Battle. I'm going to show you some more equations and I want you to use BODMAS to figure out the correct answer. Here's the first one. Brackets 19 minus 2 minus 4 squared divided by 2 plus 5. If you want, you can pause the video and do it all by yourself, or keep watching to hear Susan and Will's answers. Susan, what do you think?
So let's start with B, brackets. I'll do 19 minus 2, which is equal to 17. Next is O, orders. 4 squared is 16. Now it's DM, division and multiplication. 16 divided by 2 is equal to 8. Lastly, it's AS, addition and subtraction from left to right. I'll do 17 minus 8 to get 9, then 9 plus 5 to get 14.
Excellent, Susan. Here's the next one. 7 squared minus 13 times square root of 4 plus 12 divided by 3. Will?
Okay, there are no brackets, so I'll move on to O, orders. 7 squared is 49, and the square root of 4 is 2. Next up is DM, division and multiplication from left to right. 13 multiplied by 2 is 26, and 12 divided by 3 is 4. Finally, it's AS, addition and subtraction from left to right. I'll do 49 minus 26 to get 23, and then 23 plus 4 to get 27.
Spot on, Will. Here's the last one. Brackets 26 divided by 2 minus 9 plus 8 squared minus brackets 20 divided by 2. What's your answer, Susan?
Okay, so I'll start with the first set of brackets. 26 divided by 2 is equal to 13. Now the next set of brackets. 20 divided by 2 is equal to 10. Next is O, orders. 8 squared is 64. There's no division or multiplication left, so finally it's AS, addition and subtraction, from left to right. I'll start by doing 13 minus 9 to get 4, then 4 plus 64 to get 68, and finally 68 minus 10 to get 58.
Brilliant, Susan. And that's the end of the round. Will is on 15 points, but Susan has crept back into the lead with 20 points. Will Susan keep a hold of her crown? Keep watching to find out. Did you know that BODMAS isn't the only name for the order of operations?
Depending on where you live, brackets might be called parentheses, and orders might be called either indices or exponents. The D and M for division and multiplication might be swapped around too.
In the UK, it's also sometimes called BIDMAS.
In Canada and New Zealand, it's sometimes called BEDMAS.
And in the US and France, it's often known as PEMDAS.
I wonder if there's anywhere that calls it BEDMASA, or PIMDASA, or BOMDASA, or BIDMASA, or... Okay, so I'm going to quickly remind myself one more time. When we solve equations in maths, we need to use the order of operations, or BODMAS. First, we calculate anything that sits inside brackets. Next, we calculate the orders, that's things like powers and roots. Then we do any division and multiplication, going from left to right. And finally, we do any addition and subtraction, going from left to right.
Welcome back to Maths Battle. It's very close. Our reigning champion Susan is on 20 points, and our new contestant Will is only 5 behind with 15 points. Our final question is worth 10 points, so it all comes down to this. For the Maths Battle crown, solve this. Will, what's your answer?
Oh, sorry, I leant on the buzzer.
I'm going to need an answer.
2.410.304 055 522 6?
Have you got it right to become the new Maths Battle champion? Oh, I'm sorry, Will, that wasn't quite right. The answer, of course, is 2.410304559755227, which means that Susan wins today's game and keeps hold of the Maths Battle crown. Congratulations, Susan. Better luck next time, Will. I've been Bobby Seagull, and this has been Maths Battle.
Great practice run, everyone. Should we do the proper one now? What do you mean that was the real quiz? If you want to keep practicing, download the worksheet in the video description. If you want to hear more from Bobby and Susan, you can listen to their podcast, Maths Appeal. They discuss key maths topics, set challenging puzzles, and interview maths champions from the worlds of technology, entertainment, and education. To listen to Maths Appeal, follow the link in the video description. Learn with Will is on Ko-fi, where you can support the channel with either a one-off donation or a monthly contribution. Just follow the link in the video description. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to learn science, English, maths and more with Will, and let me know what you want to learn next by commenting below or emailing info@learnwithwill.co.uk.